sam.com is a great search engine for RV parks. You filter that by the ratings. For me, on the smaller end side of things, I'm looking for an RV park that needs improvement. Maybe not so much turnkey. I'm looking at bathroom ratings, like that's a really big thing. People want to go to parks with really clean bathrooms. So if you filter it by their bathroom ratings, you start calling on the ones that have 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars. And you do this framework with opening up the conversation and creating that interest. You've just generated yourself a potential lead. Assumptive intro has to be super quick. The owner is going to answer the call. I say the owner because I'm assuming they're the owner. You are going to say, hello, my name is Ashley. I was calling to speak to the owners of, you're going to know the name of the park. I was calling to speak to the owners of Boston RV Park. That's you, correct? And then they're going to say yes or no. This is very important that they answer yes or no. You're looking for a yes or no, not a maybe, not a I don't know, okay? So you're going to assume you're talking to this person. If they say no, you're going to say, okay, no problem. Can you go ahead and grab them really quick? Again, another assumption that they're just going to go grab them, but you're giving them a command. Go ahead and grab them. Now, some people will say, I'm sorry, who am I speaking to? And you'll get into the reason why you're calling, okay? But for others, employees, people who know, I need to go get my boss, are going to say, okay, give me a second. Put the phone down and go bring on the owner. So if you get the owner, when you get the owner, you're going to confirm the reason why you're calling. And you're going to say, hi, I'm calling to speak to the owners. I'm a local park owner who's helping other park owners retire. Now you can figure out some of the little things that you want to say that make yourself sound a little good, but you need to give them a strong reason why you're calling. You're not telling them they're selling. Hi, I'm calling from Ashley. We're a local park owner. I was calling to see if you want to sell your property. No. Who are you? No. Local park owners retire? What do you mean? What does that mean? You're helping other local park owners retire. Now, the local park owner is very important. Please use us when you are calling in states that we are in, because we can certainly vouch for you. You can use the name of the parks. And yes, you do know a local park owner. Local park owner is very important because people want to sell to people they know and they want to stay local. They don't want to sell to a big name firm. Mm-hmm. So no capital, no investment firm. You don't need to sound super fancy, okay? So when you get these two things out, you're speaking to the owner, the reason why you're calling. They heard it, tell me more. You need to break that up with some rapport. I'm helping other local park owners retire. Would you be open to discussing some options? Yes, what does that mean? Actually, let me just reintroduce myself. So my name's Ashley, and I've been in the area. I've been working with Michelle. We've done some really amazing things at these parks. We've helped so-and-so retire. They were working there for 4 hours. Could you imagine? Oh, how many years have you been there? Oh, I've been here for okay, and you break it up. You break it up. Because now you're also extracting information you need. Don't make your rapport building lame. You really want to make the rapport building purposeful, intentional. Asking questions about how long have you been there? Yeah, it needs to be strategic, okay? But if you do it right, and when you know you've done it right, you've probably spent 3 to 5 minutes in that section. Because now you've built on something, and then they're gonna share with you for 40 years. No, my son and daughter, oh my gosh, how old are they?
Strategic, your pain points, yep.
My son and daughter don't want to take it over.
My son and daughter don't want to take it over. Oh man, I wish my parents had something for me to take over. And you gotta go into these things and you banter back and forth really quick. When it starts to get awkward, or you know you've gone too far, okay, you need to get to business, which is, listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just need to find out a few things about your property. How many pads do you have? How many acres do you have? Are you on septic or city utilities? What's your revenue? How much are you doing in a year? One of the things that we used to do when we were signing up, when I was selling a deal or writing up a deal, is I had to get very personal information. I had to get business information. I had to get their driver's license. I had to get their tax ID. I had to get the avoided check. And I had to get their social security.
Wow.
Okay? So we started with the business first. We said, do you have a business card? I'm just gonna write down the business information. Do you have a driver's license? Because that's how it would get the home address, the person. Okay. What's the tax ID of the business? At this point, they've given me, we got the tax ID. Now it starts to get rocky. Now we're getting to the real close information, the real personal information. Okay, so we need to set up your deposits to be into the same bank account that you have. You have a voided check for that? Okay, this is very important. I'm in front of the person, okay? So you have a voided check for that? You could just get a check voided out, okay? And then, the most important part, okay? We flip, all right, so I got the business, I got the personal. I do this every time. Got the tax, oh, your social?
Oh man. Anybody else freaked out right now?
You would not, if you looked up, it was the open door for, why do you need my social? If you stayed pen to paper, expecting, and more times than not, they look at the paper, they see the field, social security number, and they tell you, one, okay, perfect. All right, sign here, done. So it's strategic, okay? Qualifying questions when you get to the numbers part, it's very personal. You've got to ask that last. You get to the easy stuff first. You get them giving you these answers. And then you ask, I know you may not know, they know. I know, and maybe they don't know. I know you may not know, but how much do you do a year? Okay. Do you also, you're gonna want, and this will lead into our due diligence, you have access to your P&Ls, your tax returns, your bank statements, right? Okay, perfect. I don't need that now, but just wanted to make sure we set that up. You know, when I take this back, when I talk to my boss, we take it back. And this is something we want to move forward with. We're gonna need to look at that and review it. So, great. When's a good time? So this will probably take us, I don't know, maybe 24, 48 hours to look this over. Should we call back? When are you in? Is that Monday, Tuesday? You must give them options. You cannot open it, leave it open with, so when's a good time? Because now they're gonna pick a time that's so convenient for them that could be weeks, months, days on the line, okay? You're looking for the close, which is, I need another time to call you back. And so are you gonna be available Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. Okay, perfect. Is that morning or afternoon? It's morning. All right, 9 o'clock good for you? 9. Perfect, so Tuesday, 9 o'clock, we're gonna call you. I'm gonna present to you 2 offers. You give them instructions, you give them expectations. I'm gonna present to you 2 offers, and then we'll take it from there. Sound good? Great. One last thing, we're also gonna need to send you this offer. What's an email address? Give them an email address because you're gonna need another piece of contact information if, and sometimes when, they don't answer the call again. It's true. You go through these steps, okay? You wanna be lively. So even though you're over the phone, it's really important that you are smiling, that you have your inflection points, that you've even got your rapport building questions ready. Don't get caught. Because if you're trying to improvise, when you're in the moment, it's gonna fall flat. And now, I gotta get to qualifying questions, and this sounds way too robotic, okay? Also, you can say the same thing to every phone call because they don't know what you said on the last. One thing that we would do is when we would walk into the business, we would always open before we started our script, and you can't do this over the phone. But in person, we'd do an icebreaker. And so we'd pick something. The Yankees lost. They're 3-0. We'd pick something. The moment we'd open the door, we were looking for a picture, a plaque, a sign, something. And we would make it about that thing. If we couldn't find something, it was a trip through the door. Did you see that person? You never make it about the weather, and you don't ask about their day. Because if you're calling out of state, you don't know how the weather is. And if they're having a bad day, you don't want them to be it doesn't need to be a negative conversation. So, how you doing today? Meh, terrible. So, I go about this, I cold call, we generate leads at this point using Prop AI, but I understand that some of you aren't going to add that tool to your business. And so if you're not gonna go about it talking Michelle's approach, and you're gonna approach it the way that I do, cold calling is my #1 way in generating leads. It is also a greater return when looking for off-market leads, because if they don't have an opportunity, they know somebody that has an opportunity, and it could also be something that you keep in your pocket for down the line. Maybe they're not ready to sell right now, but talk to me in about 6 months, and if you follow up, you might have yourself a deal.